Timothy and I had almost done a few other projects together, so we were aware of one another and really wanted to work with each other, and were, waiting for the right thing. And then this came up, and I knew that he was a part of it before I was. I think he was the only person attached to it, and so that was, super exciting. And working together, I mean, we had, I think we both care a great deal, and we're both very, committed to exercising everything out that needs to be said on the day, and allowing what's there to move and change the tone of things, and not be so rigid about what it should be in any preconceived notions. So in that way, we work very similarly, which is always nice because it feels cohesive and fluid, but also both of us are, thinking about it 24/7, so it's never like, okay, we're not talking about it anymore, let's shut off. It's like, what about this? What about this? What about this? So yeah, I love working with him, and it just was, so inspiring and invigorating. I was first introduced to the project through the director, Luca Guadagnino. I had just watched all of his TV series, We Are Who We Are, and loved it. And, as fate and luck would have it, he had reached out around the same time to have a meeting for this script that I didn't know about yet. And so the first meeting that we had was a FaceTime, and just getting to know each other. And then after that, he sent me the script, and I fell in love with it. Luca, to me, was the only director for this story. I can't speak to all the personal things happening in his life, although he has talked about it before. I think the power of intention is so strong, and this story meant something very specific to him, so whenever that is at play, it is drastically more impactful. At the same token, he is somebody who, in all of his films, has looked at his subjects with an unconditionally loving lens and gaze, and has tried to make them feel understood, and has leaned in a more empathetic light towards them. I think I would say that Marin is a person who's trying to figure out if she can be loved for who she is, and if there's a way to live that feels ethical, moral, sustainable, and also satiates the truth and core of her desires, and is also going through the brutality of becoming an adult. My first reaction to the script was just that I had never read anything so unique, so loving, and strange as this story, and certainly nothing had come across my desk before like that. I knew it would be really special, and I loved the creative team a lot. So I thought, if I'm lucky enough to get in this movie in any way, then it'll be something I'll remember for a long time. The main themes of the film: loneliness, loss, love, of course, what we inherit from our ancestors, what we pass down, what we're trying to break cyclically in our lives, if it's possible to step out of a cycle and create a new one. And then there's, of course, themes that go beyond those sweeping ones, which are addiction and so many others. Today I've heard from people that I've talked to, about sexual violence and adoption and all these other things. So I think it kind of can, move into that, those different rivers. But yeah, there's a lot of themes here that feel very universal in the human experience. He knew that, the value in our human experience is that when things are really hard and we think we should cast people aside is really when we should, open a circle to them and say what's going on, can we understand a little bit more, and that's definitely what I'm thinking about in my life and what I've learned from working with him. Working with Mark Rylance was one of the greatest gifts of my career. In my young career thus far, he's one of the titans of stage and film, and all of my heroes look up to Mark Rylance, which I think says everything. He's unlike anybody else I've ever met, and he's been so unbelievably kind to me, so available, and such a mentor for me in my life, which is wild to even be able to say that. He's just so present when you're working with him, and really places safety and love and respect before anything else. So I just had a really beautiful, wholesome experience working with him, which is a really funny juxtaposition with these two characters, because maybe you wouldn't necessarily think that because he's a wonderful actor and is very off-putting in the film, but that he's not that way in real life at all.